meeting of the Portsmouth Community Network Broadband Authority, members and guests. First item up on our agenda is our roll call. I do call the meeting to order.
Right.
So first up is our roll call, and our secretary, Deborah White, will call the roll.
Yes, ma'am. Mr. Barnes, Mr. Battle.
Here.
Mr. Glover,
Here.
Mr. Moody,
Here.
Dr. Whitaker.
Present.
Mr. Woodard,
Here.
Ms. Lucasberg.
Here. All right, we are all present. And next up is our adoption of the minutes from our last meeting. If you've had an opportunity to view those and there are no changes or additions, I entertain a motion to approve.
Move adoption.
Second.
All right, and we'll get a roll call.
Mr. Barnes is absent. Mr. Battle, Mr. Glover,
Yes.
Mr. Moody,
Yes.
Dr. Whitaker,
Yes.
Mr. Woodard,
Yes.
Mrs. Lucasberg.
Yes. Okay. Next up is we have an opportunity to have a public comment on our proposed rate schedule. We discussed it last meeting, and we will put it in as a placeholder to get us moving forward. And right now, we do have an opportunity for public comments, and I believe we do we have one speaker?
Yeah.
One speaker, where is that?
I'm sorry.
No, it's me.
We have one speaker, and that is citizen Ms. Domasai. If you're ready.
No, I was going to speak later.
She wants to speak under the 3 minutes.
Okay, at the end. Okay,
ma'am.
all right. Do we have anyone else who's registered to speak on it?
No, ma'am.
No, okay. Then I will refer to our Assistant City Attorney, Ms. Swearinger. Do we have some discussion about this? Are there members who like to have some discussion about the rate schedule?
I didn't have anything yet for this meeting.
Okay.
So
Yes,
this
Councilman.
rate schedule,
Mr. Battle.
it isn't in cement. It's possibly can be changed.
Yes, it
ma'am.
can be changed by the
Wonderful.
authority, so.
Yes, ma'am.
The figures that we put in were based on other entities in the area, just to get us a placeholder. I think they were pretty fair figures. We put it out there to see if we would get a field from any businesses or agencies that may had some opposition to it or may have had some concerns with our rates. We haven't heard any. The public comment period is just something we're going to do before we have a public hearing. So we'll have one more opportunity for public comments, and then we'll have a public hearing. Of course, that will have to be advertised in the paper so that the citizens and the community and the public and businesses have an opportunity to register and to know that that will be available. And that will happen in July. So if we don't have any comments, if there is no concerns, then we'll move to our next item for open session, which is our additional training opportunities. Mr. Battle had made a request to have some additional training on broadband, on the rates, on just how we move forward as an authority, and I think some other members had expressed an interest as well. So we can now open the floor up for that discussion. I believe our attorney have an opportunity for us to meet with a person who has the expertise, knowledge to be able to give us what we need as far as training. So now we can talk on that if you want to lead way into that, and then we can talk about it.
Sure. So Daniel reached out to our consultants, and they are more than happy to have sessions with one or more of you to go over fiber, our ring, what that looks like, and answer any questions you have. So we were going to take a poll essentially as to how many of you would be interested in that. If it's just a few of you, they can do, well, or if you want a one-on-one session, you can certainly have that. If you think that it would be beneficial for the entire board to be a part of something like that, we could arrange for some sort of special session for where all we do is have them come and speak to you about the ring and answer questions that way. So you can let us know tonight, or if you want to think about it, just let us know and we can get those scheduled. And those would be virtual because the consultants are not physically present here. But that means they can be pretty flexible with when you can meet them.
Where are they located?
You know?
Yeah, the consultants are headquartered out of Denver, Colorado.
Yeah. So the virtual opportunity would be the best route, so that we would have to pay for them. I mean, we having to pay for the consultant services anyway, whether it's they're in Denver or they're here locally. And I think that if we could do that virtually for the members who may be interested, that would probably be the most cost-effective way for us to get the information. I don't think it would take more than an hour with a question and answer presentation for that to happen. So,
Well, first of all, yeah,
yes.
they didn't have anybody in Virginia with the expertise to go over this with us.
Well, this is the consultants that were procured several years ago with the city, and this is already part of that procurement, so we're not paying any extra for this.
They
When it
didn't
was-
have anybody in this state that has knowledge of this.
Yeah, so one of their employees is in Virginia. He's in the western part of Virginia.
No. Do they have an agency in this state, not a satellite office from another agency in another state, that they have an agency in this state that's adapting up on broadband that could do this?
I don't believe this consultant has that. As to why we don't have a Virginia consultant, we'd have to look back at the procurement process and see if any Virginia entities submitted proposals to that. I don't know that answer offhand. But perhaps if any of the members are interested, could you let the secretary know if you're interested in having that arranged, and then we can find a time that works.
Well, I would like to indulge by myself or with another person. We might have a lot of questions to ask, and one or two people, we could probably get in everything we needed to do.
Sure.
All right, so do we have a time frame where, well, our next meeting will be in June, so I would say before 30 days to get that set up and scheduled.
Right. If you let the secretary know your availability in the upcoming weeks, then we can probably arrange something that will work for you.
Before the next meeting. Because July is when we're going to have the public comments,
But
the public hearing.
yes. Correct.
The public hearing, and then we'll have to proceed with a vote of some sort on approving the rate schedule.
You will be able to proceed with a vote then, but if you don't feel that you have enough information, you don't have to do it at that meeting.
Okay. Are there any other concerns of the members present on that? That is our last item that we had for open session. We do have a need to go into a closed session, and there is a resolution for closed session. If I could get a member to move on that motion and then get a second, then we can take care of that business.
I move to go into a closed meeting pursuant to Virginia Code subsection 2.2-3711A-33, discussion by a local authority created in accordance with the Virginia Wireless Service Authorities Act of confidential proprietary information and trade secrets, and subsection 2.2-3711A-6, A.6, discussion or consideration of the investment of public funds where competition or bargaining is involved, specifically regarding market rate pricing and leasing strategies, and pursuant to subsection 2.2 3711A.8 for the purpose of consultation with legal counsel retained by the authority regarding specific legal matters requiring the provision of legal advice, specifically regarding fiber leases.
Is there a second?
Second.
Right. Madam Secretary.
Yes, ma'am. Mr. Barnes is absent. Mr. Battle?
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Glover?
Yes.
Mr. Moody?
Yes.
Dr. Whitaker?
Yes.
Mr. Woodard?
Yes.
Mrs. Lucasberg?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. And we are in closed session. We'll give everyone a chance to.
Certify that to the best of his or her knowledge, only public business matter lawfully exempt from opening meeting requirements under the Virginia Freedom of Information Act, and only such public business matters as were identified in the motion by which the closed meeting was convened were heard, discussed, or considered in the closed meeting just concluded.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right. Madam Chair, Secretary.
Yes, ma'am. Mr. Barnes?
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Battle?
Yes.
Mr. Glover?
Yes.
Mr. Moody?
Yes.
Dr. Whitaker?
Yes.
Mr. Woodard?
Yes.
Mrs. Lucasberg?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Yes,
I'd like
Mr.
to
Battle.
thank you for the respect and dignity you give us as your peers. You're very considerate.
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely.
All right, we have exhausted our agenda, but we did have one public speaker. We are out of time. Ms. Tsai, are you able to do this, your presentation in 1 minute? Yes, ma'am.
What do you want me to do about the handout?
Just give it to
Okay, you can start here and we'll hand them around.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right. What do I say? Just. I'm Donna Sy.
Okay.
Say anything else? All I wanted to show y'all was this. The Department of Housing and Community Development. You see over here, it has Office of Broadband. That's all I want to tell you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your presentation today, and we will keep this for our records. And I think you gave us some additional information. We're going to hand that back to you.
All right.
And if there's no other business before the authority, all of our next business will be in our next meeting next month. And this meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.